What does one need to know in playing sports? So we've learned that individual sports relies on individual while team sports rely on teammates. In playing any type of sports, it is important to have focus, clear understanding of the game, and work ethics in mastering the skills. So our next topic is all about the things to consider in playing sports. So there are things that you must consider also in playing sport. Huwag kang maglalaro ng basta-basta lang. Because there are things to consider too. Number one on the list is the history. It is the origin of the game. Who is the inventor of the sport? The country of origin and the development of the game. So sir, why do we have to know about this? We're just playing. We just want to play. Well, let me put this in this context. It's like getting to know a boy or a girl. Of course, if you like someone or something, you first search for the address, for the contact number, for the background of that person. So it's just like in sport. You must know the background history of that certain sport. If you're a volleyball player, at least you should know William Morgan. If you're a basketball player, at least you know the history of basketball or who's James Naismith. Right? So it's knowing the background of the sport. Next to consider is, of course, number 2, we have the court dimension or the venue. It is where the games are played. If it's indoor, outdoor, or both. Size, different designs for male or female, and safety procedures for the players. So this is also important. You must consider the court dimension para hindi ka maloko, para you know your rights, okay, as a player. And safety first, of course. Speaking of safety first, we have equipment and gear, the proper protective gears, uniforms and outfits, which is also involves safety of players and the officials. So if you're going to play a sport, you must first consider the outfit, okay? For example, in arnis, they have protective gears. In taekwondo, they have protective gears as well. Next to that is the technical and tactical skills. So, nandito na yung technical and tactical skills. So, technical skills are the basics of playing the game. So, again, basic skill, technical skill. Yan. Example of this is a basketball, the dribble, the shoot and pass. While on the other hand, the tactical skills are the strategies to take advantage during the game. It is what you call the game sense. Okay? We'll have an in-depth understanding of that on the next slide. Okay, the things to consider pa in playing sport is the rules of the game. Very important ang rules. Rules, violations, and penalties. You must know this. Okay, if you're a player, you must at least memorize the rules, violations, and penalties. Kasi alam mo yung iiwasan mo. Okay? And rules, of course, just to share, is changing. It's innovated. It can be innovated by whom? By the governing body of that sport. For example, in basketball, the governing body of basketball is FIBA, Federación Internacional de Basketball, or International Federation for Basketball. While in volleyball, we have FIV, Federación Internacional de Volleyball, or International Federation for Volleyball. So those are the governing bodies that manages the rules and regulations of a certain sport. Next, we have the officiating. Okay, officials of the game, their duties, responsibilities of calling for violations, penalties, points, etc. in regulating fair play. So, very important po ang officiating the game it is. Okay? So, let me just recall our things to consider in playing sports. We have history, court dimension, equipment and gear, technical and tactical skills, and then rules of the game and officiating.